Today's MTG box analysis will focus on the opening of a March of the Machine draft booster box that took place on April 26, 2023. We'll begin by comparing the cards that we saw in this box to the cards that we were eligible to obtain inside of a draft booster pack. Then we'll examine set coverage, coverage by rarity, and duplication. To establish a baseline for value, we'll analyze the value of the two sets and then break down the actual observed value for each in the box. Finally, we'll conclude with a summary. If you want to go deeper into the analysis and see all of the metrics for this box and 100 others, simply join the channel at the Give Me the Data level. Now let's jump in with a look at the contents of this box. Using this chart, we can see the non-foils we observed from the main set in green, the foils we observed in orange, and the set in gray as the baseline. In the non-foil space, we saw between 76 and 80 cards for each of the primary colors of Magic, along with 2 showcase and 1 borderless card. In the foil space, we saw between 1 and 2 cards for each of the primary colors of Magic, except for red, where we didn't see any. We also picked up 1 showcase card in foil. From the Multiverse Legends subset, we saw a total of 38 cards. We saw between 2 and 5 cards for each of the primary colors of Magic in non-foil, plus 20 multicolor cards. In the foil space, we saw 2 total cards, 1 black and 1 multicolor. Moving into coverage, from the main set, we saw 247 unique cards out of a possible 322, which means that we saw 77% coverage. Our highest coverage among the primary colors of Magic was in white with 91%. In the foil space, we saw 10 of the 322 cards from the main set that we were eligible to pull in foil. This gave us 3% coverage of the set. This time around, our highest coverage among the primary colors of Magic was in black with 5%. Moving into the Multiverse Legends subset, we saw 32 unique non-foil cards out of a possible 65, which means that we saw 49% coverage of the subset. Our highest coverage among the primary colors of Magic was in red with 67% coverage. And in the foil space, we only saw 2 of the 65 cards, which gave us 3% coverage of the subset. Pivoting to coverage by rarity and looking back at the main set, in the non-foil space, we saw every single common and all of the uncommons, which has only ever happened to me once before. We also saw 30 rares for 38% coverage and 6 non-foil mythics for 18% coverage. In the traditional foil space, we saw 5 commons, 2 uncommons, and 2 rares, which was enough for 3% coverage. Switching back to the Multiverse Legends subset, we saw 100% of the uncommons in non-foil, along with 9 rares for 30% coverage and 3 mythics for 20% coverage. In the traditional foil space, we saw 1 uncommon and a single rare. Add in the rares and mythics that we saw from the main set, and this box contained 42 rares and 9 mythics. Not bad for a 36-pack draft box. From a duplication standpoint, none of our foils were repeats, but we did see 161 cards duplicated 249 times for a box duplication rate of 46%. We also saw 5 playsets of common cards. Now, before we take a look at the value of today's draft booster box, let's review the value of the cards in each of the sets. This chart shows all the cards from the main March of the Machine set using non-foil market prices as of April 24, 2023. Currently, there are 11 cards that can be pulled from a draft booster pack valued over $10. The top 3 are going to be the borderless Wrenn and Realmbreaker valued at $14.92, the showcase Elesh Norn valued at $15.91, and the most valuable card in the standard frame is the Elesh Norn valued at $18.44. The set also features 10 cards valued between $5 and $10, and 29 cards valued between $1 and $5. The remaining 272 cards are currently valued less than $1. If you were to add up the value of all 322 cards, you'd be looking at a market value of $327.40. And here's a look at the value that we saw from the main set in today's box. We ended up seeing 3 of those cards valued over $10. They included the Invasion of Tarkir, valued at $12.05, Sheoldred, valued at $14.45, and the most valuable, the standard frame Elesh Norn, valued at $18.44. We also saw 2 cards valued between $5 and $10, and 14 non-foils valued between $1 and $5. The remaining 473 cards that we pulled from the main set are currently valued less than $1. In the foil space, we only saw a single card valued over $1. The other 9 foils from the main set were valued less than $1. Now let's take a look at the 65 cards that you can pull from the Multiverse Legends subset from a draft booster pack. Again, this chart uses non-foil market prices as of April 24, 2023. Currently, there are 3 cards valued over $10. They include the Elish Norn Grand Cenobite, valued at $13.72, the Atraxa Praetor's Voice, valued at $16.55, and the Ragavan Nimble Pilferer, valued at $46.99. The subset also features a single card valued between $5 and $10, and 7 cards valued between $1 and $5. The remaining 54 cards in the subset are currently valued under $1. If you were to add up the market value of all 65 cards, you'd be looking at a total of $125.11. And here's a look at the value that we saw from the Multiverse Legends subset in today's box. We only saw one of the 3 cards valued over $10, but it was the best one of the set, and I called it. It was the Ragavan Nimble Pilferer, valued at $46.99. We didn't see the 1 card valued between $5 and $10, but we did pick up 2 of the 7 cards valued between $1 and $5. The remaining 35 cards that we pulled from the Multiverse Legends subset are currently valued less than $1. So how did this box perform? Well, I purchased this box from my local game store for $109.99. The current market price for these boxes as of April 24th, 2023 is $105.81. Today's draft booster box contained 36 packs with 15 cards each, allowing us to see a total of 540 cards. The 33 tokens and 19 basic lands have a combined value of $17.75. The 316 commons from the main set are valued at $21.31. The 129 uncommons from the main set are currently valued at $13.94, and the 32 rares have a current value of $32.78. The 6 mythics that we saw are valued at $54.55. Now, the 38 cards from the Multiverse Legends subset are valued at $61.55, thanks mostly to the Ragavan. Add it all up, and the grand total for this box comes up to be $201.88 in market value, which is a gain of $91.89 over the price I paid, which means that this box returned 184% of my purchase price in card value. Now, for those of you interested in cards valued just over $2, the numbers look like this. In total, we saw 13 cards valued over $2 in this box, and they have a current combined market value of $124.28, which means that those 13 cards represent 62% of the total box value. Thank you so much for watching. I want to take a moment to give a special shout out to all of the channel members. Your support helps fund this operation and allows me to create the content that you all enjoy. If you're not yet a channel member, I invite you to consider becoming one. By joining, you'll gain early access to videos and many other perks. If you're interested in supporting the channel but don't want to become a member, there are several other ways that you can show your support. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue with the channel. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, do something amazing.